Really?
Yeah, we apparently got hacked or something, and so everything's just
Our
totally.
website got hacked?
We got hacked.
Who would want to hack us?
I don't know. Maybe that means we made it.
Hey! I was telling my coworker today, I just like in conversation I brought up that I'm a part of a podcast, and she was like, "You podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Technically, I've been podcasting before it became trendy." Like, I said I've been on a podcast for. I think I've been with you guys for at least 2 years now.
I mean, you were guesting here and there even before then, so.
I feel you. Yeah, and she was like so surprised. I was like, "Yeah, Riff from Rock Music Talk. Check us out." She's like, "I think I will." Ryan, right off the bat, how do you feel about Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Oh man, are we
Oh,
Are we talking
that
Takashi
guy.
6ix9ine? Are we fucking talking Takashi 6ix9ine?
I
That
just
guy
wanted to
is
throw it out. I just wanted
very-
to throw Ryan off as soon as he got on the fucking phone, man.
What's wrong with that boy?
Someone.
Hey, that guy's balling right now. He's
Is
he's
he?
living his best life right now. Yes.
I only see people make fun of him.
Yeah, well, because that's the stuff that's clickbait shit. But
Yeah.
musically, he has like 4 singles on the top 100 Billboard. His first project went over really well. But he had an interview on the Breakfast Club. It has, I want to say, it's probably over 7 million views. The guy, and he calls it on the Breakfast Club. He even clarified. He's like, "Oh, I know I'm a fucking troll, but that trolling shit has helped me win." And I
Yeah,
was
but-
like, "Yeah, you ain't wrong."
All right, I have a couple things. Number one, by the time you're 40 years old, you're gonna look like a gigantic asshole with 6ix9ine tattooed on your forehead.
Oh,
And-
big facts.
and a rainbow grill. Number one.
Big
Number
fan.
two, there was a video of him having sex with a minor.
Yeah, that's
Number three,
That's-
I have this album.
he didn't have sex with the minor. I will clarify that he did not have sex with the minor. The minor was in a video. I think they said it was a music video. But he did not have sex with the minor.
I believe that's splitting hairs in at the end of the day in that situation.
I feel you.
Number
feel you.
three. I have Day 6ix9ine sitting on my computer. I've gone through it. I haven't like fully listened to it, but I've given a couple songs. I've listened to Gunmo, or Gummo. I've also listened
Gummo,
to,
yeah.
and the fact that he fucking put out Gummo twice on the same album, one just because it has an extra feature. I'm sorry, Teangelo. You're hyping you're hyping 6ix9ine. This motherfucker's Death Grips Light.
Oh
Yeah.
God, no!
This-
Oh no,
this
that's
man
not even fair.
Is Death
Oh,
Grips Light.
God.
He just screams
Oh,
and shouts. His the
Oh,
production's just
no.
not as good. He is
He
just.
thinks he's a blood, but he's really not.
We don't know. He cut.
I'm just.
He's talking.
I'm not a
right to the
gangster,
game.
so I can't even speak to the gangster shit. But that's why I didn't even bring that shit up. I said that's out of my realm. I don't know shit about the gangster stuff. He's been co-signed by Bloods and shit like that, and I'm not a gangster, but that's enough for me.
The guys in my prison really are into KO. That's the one they like. But I think he's a Milwaukee guy.
KO. I've never heard of him.
I don't know.
But then
well,
again,
apparently,
I
so
don't
what I
listen to
dis-
Milwaukee
CYO?
artists.
what I discovered, it's either Saturdays or Sunday nights at or Saturday morning or Sunday morning at 3-4 in the morning on Milwaukee Public Access TV. Like they play
Yeah.
just random rap music videos from people who from Milwaukee people. So the guys in my prison stay up, and it's and they're in the music videos because they're just shit filmed on the other side of 94, in some of those some of those rougher neighborhoods in Milwaukee. They just filmed the music videos there on an iPhone, and then they play them on public access. That's what's cracking.
I love how you said cracking.
I've learned some.
Cracking.
They say cracking.
Maybe 6 years ago.
No, these are the kids. They're saying cracking.
No way.
Yeah, they say cracking.
They're bringing Kraken back?
I don't know. They say cracking. They start most conversations with A right. So I'm learning. Hey, right?
Oh God.
But yeah, Day 6ix9ine is a hack fraud. He will be like here's the thing. Like most,
I want to know how long he lasts.
It's SoundCloud rap. Like except for Lil Yachty, pretty much every SoundCloud artist lasts like a collective 20 minutes.
Tekashi's been lasting.
But he's only like really recently kind of shown up, and people are like, look at that fucking rainbow grill. I mean, that's, like, I can't see this lasting. This is so shtick heavy. I can't see it lasting. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's interesting that you say Lil Yachty is the one that's lasting.
I mean, he is.
But when I think about it, he is. Yeah. He did just drop Lil Bo 2. It went over well.
Sure, whatever.
He did the Funk Flex freestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except
I was for Lil Yachty, that Funk Flex freestyle was decent. You can't even lie.
But like,
it was definitely decent.
Lil Bo 2 had a good EP's worth of music, and then like the whole end of it just derailed into nonsense.
I feel you.
He just like
I won't fight you on that either.
He guapped so hard. He was just, I want the guap. Like, he sounded so bored. There was good stuff at the beginning, but like Lil Boat 1 is an accidental masterpiece of stupid nonsense. And this time, like, I don't think he can.
Some excellent songs on there.
He fucking had a killer song with the menu music from Super Mario 64. That is fucking accidental genius level shit. Like, you can't make that up. But that, like, I don't think he's ever gonna top it. I don't think he is.
Salute to Perry for coming up with that sound on Boat 1. Salute to Perry.
Oh, you mean Aquaberry Perry, or what's his name?
Burberry Perry.
Burberry Perry. Yeah, but he had to take off Burberry. He just goes by Perry now because Burberry was talking about they were gonna sue him for using their name.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
So it's just Perry now.
But Gucci Mane is still Gucci Mane. He's not Mane yet, right?
No, still Gucci Mane. Yeah,
Gucci's good on that. They're like, this is okay.
Well. Because Gucci literally wears Gucci. Like, I'm sure he has some type of deal with them. Because Gucci really does wear Gucci, though. If you follow him on Instagram, he definitely wears a lot of Gucci.
Quick question, then we'll actually start the real show. If you were to be a hip hop artist and have to front a fashion brand, what would your name be? I'm going with Versace Dragon.
I like that. Supreme the Dream.
That's good. Ryan, what are you fronting?
Yeezy.
Good one. Good one.
Just Yeezy.
Yeah. I would love to wear Yeezy shit. You're right. But there's not enough of it. You know what I mean? There's not Yeezy pants. There's Yeezy shirts, Yeezy crew necks, Yeezy shoes. There's not Yeezy socks. There's not Yeezy drawers. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's Supreme everything. There's Versace everything.
Right.
Yeezy, you'll get there. I'm sure it'll get there. If you're really thinking about the longevity of Yeezy, didn't he sign like a 10-year contract with Adidas?
Did he? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, he needs it because he went broke making Life of Pablo or whatever it was, apparently, and then that video game never came out. That was a disappointment. I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, they signed Kanye West and Adidas signed a huge long-term partnership. The value of it is around $10 million.
Good for him. Kanye, pay off my student loans.
Big facts, and mine.
Yeah, come on. What's it to you? No biggie. Anyway, this is a podcast about music. Sometimes it's called Music Talk. I'm joined with my main squeezes, Teangelo and Ryan. How are you guys doing?
Yo,
Man, life is a blessing.
Life is a blessing indeed. This episode's been like 2 months in the making, so we're going to be on some super relevant shit today.
And guess what? My computer just shit itself, so I've got no access to any of my notes.
Well,
really,
improv. You know how to improv. All right,
really
Ryan,
does.
we need a scene, recording a podcast, and we need a gimmick. Your computer crashed.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
So, fuck it. I don't think we have any specific direction we're going. I'm just going to go first because I want to start this episode with an apology. Our first album is Justin Timberlake's Man of the Woods. This is his first album in 5 years, the last one being the two-parter
5 years
2020 Experience, which was one of the best albums of 2013, that double album, and genuinely an amazing album that I think has stood the test of time. Justin Timberlake really found a creative niche, creating these pretty long funk soul jams that just interwove a lot of different genres, and really stood on their own legs. It is a marathon. Both of them are pretty long albums. The first one being at 70 minutes, and the second one being at 74 minutes. So they're both long albums, but I think they both work really well. He created a nice little universe of music. But then we get to 5 years later, and so when this got announced, I was pretty excited because he had these two really solid albums. I'm like, what's he going to put out this time? And Justin Timberlake is a wizard of pop music. He's blended genres, and I kind of get the feeling here, and this is why I need to apologize, because I have to apologize that I made you guys listen to this album, because it is not good. It is not a good album. It is, and it's also a long album.
Real long.
It's 65 minutes. It's shorter than the 2020 albums, but it is not really enjoyable. And the reason I bring up all this other stuff is because he felt like he had something good. And I got the feeling on this album that he wasn't entirely sure what he wanted to do next. This album jumps around sonically at a kind of an erratic pace. It always feels like it doesn't know what it wants to do. So you have this opening track. So let me just start off by asking you guys. Let's break it down even from the beginning. You have this first song, "Filthy." And what do you guys think? What you guys think of "Filthy"? Because this was also the single that had the dancing robot music video. This came out before the full album. I don't know if you guys heard it before the album dropped.
I did. I will definitely say I did not. I didn't hear. Honestly, I feel like in today's culture, we really call out culture vultures, and Justin Timberlake technically has been a culture vulture for years. He's just excellent at it.
Yes, that's fair.
And "Filthy" was definitely not his culture vulture sound. Like, most of this album is a weird Justin Timberlake. Like, you do not expect anything that I heard on this album. I was like, what? Like I've told you, this isn't the culture vulture I like. Like, I like culture vulture Justin Timberlake. This is some Man of the Wood shit. Ryan?
What'd you think of "Filthy" just from that single?
"Filthy" in and of itself, it didn't. It came and went.
Right.
Heard it, kept going.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree. It was so the first time I listened to it was when I was listening to this album on shuffle on Spotify, because I'm broke and I gotta listen to things not in the right order. But yeah, there wasn't really anything special about it. I was really more looking forward to the song he did with Pharrell. It was after it, whatever the name of that song is. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, wasn't this song on oh shoot, it was in that movie with the talking animals, right?
Was it?
Was it on the Trolls movie?
With the talking animals? I mean, I can't imagine this song with like all its grossness was in the song Trolls, but I could be wrong. It did create the greatest line that I have been abusing since, to much of the annoyance of my significant boo. I just keep asking her what's she gonna do with all that meat.
Significant boo.
I'd be like, she'll be cooking dinner. I'll be like, what's she gonna do with all that meat? And she hates it. But I can't help myself.
I would hate it too.
Yeah, it's gross.
Ryan, I don't see anything.
I
don't see it as a single for anything.
But yeah, so you get this song, and it almost has like this dubstep.
This song. Sorry, I was thinking of a completely different song. The Troll stuff. Yeah, this one was like, it tried to be a Prince song.
Is that how you took it?
It was like
That's
Prince
what
and
the-
fucking Daft Punk.
The first article that popped up compared it to a Prince song.
Yeah, it was just a rip off of a Prince song. And yeah, it's not good.
To me, it felt like a 2009 throwback to like dubstep kind of. It had this.
Oh, because the wah wah.
Yeah, because the wah-wah-ness. And so I heard this single, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a grimy fuck album. And then it's like this, like, ice cream on pizza. You have these two things that kind of are good. They're great on their own. I love both. But then you mix them. And so there's like this, like, folk, country, funk, pop thing. And it just, like, it never clicks. It sounds super weird. I think the best example of it, I think it was the song Sauce or Wave. I can't remember which one, but like it was Wave. It was Wave.
Wave was decent.
You thought Wave was decent? I thought Wave was just a cataclysm of bad ideas crashing into each other. And like everyone was like, no one was telling Justin stop combining shit, because it is just like got a Caribbean vibe. It's got like trap beats. It's got.
You know why, right?
I don't, because he was high. I don't know.
Because this whole album was him and NERD.
Was
it
it
really?
It was produced by Pharrell and the other guy.
But
from NERD.
It's like if
Timberlake.
It's like if NERD.
Me from NERD. Okay.
It's like if NERD and whatever Brad Paisley were in the studio at the same time. Like, it is just a bizarre combination of ideas. Like, if Timberlake wanted to go full folk, I would have supported that, because I'm sure he would have done good full folk. But it's like, it's either someone in an executive's office or someone in the studio is like, no, you have to still appeal to dumb music fans and have catchy beats and the same funk guitar riff that is in every Pharrell Williams song. You can't do what you can't do that. So like, you have that example of it like on Flannel and I think it's the Hard Stuff, where it's like really stripped back. Say something, yeah. And it's really stripped back, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of working. Then you get a song like Supplies or Sauce, and I'm like, Jesus fuck, what is going on here? Or more.
Supplies was hard. Supplies was hard.
Hard to listen to, yes.
No, what? You didn't like Supplies?
I didn't. There is not much I liked on this album. This album, and I listened to this album multiple times, and each time I just hated it more and more and more, because I kept finding things that again were just juxtaposing so aggressively.
Damn. That Alicia Keys song was ass though. Morning Light was terrible.
It was rough. I liked Montana. Montana was kind of cool. Nice little mellow nighttime drive jam.
Take me back to Montana. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I mean, it wasn't as stupid as Living Off the Land, am I right?
Yeah,
I feel you.
This album also kind of cemented.
Young Man was good. Did you like Young Man?
It was okay. That wasn't a bad song. I'm kind of done with the hey, we're having fun in the studio kind of shtick, because like, I don't believe it. It's, get your baby to say daddy. Oh, hey, everybody. Like, they would not let that baby in that studio. They'd be like, sir, no, that baby cannot come in here.
He probably has a studio in his house. He rich.
Hey, he is rich. Justin, if you're listening, pay my student loans.
Mine too. Ryan, do you have student debt?
Hell yeah, I do.
Well, you didn't co-sign on that shit.
You gotta be asking these people, because if they listen,
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find my notes.
Man, fuck your notes, man. Freestyle this bitch.
They literally deleted themselves, so that's cool.
This album, to me, felt like it was probably in development hell for a long time. So sometimes you'll have a band, it'll take a while for them to put out an album, and it's because they can't figure out what they want to do. I.e., perfect example, Ryan could probably attest to this, Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy.
Oh God, no!
But like, it can never find its sound, because it's just constantly feeling around the dark. Like, what the fuck do I want to do? And that's what this album feels like. You have 5 years from this monumental double album, and now it's like there's a serious identity crisis going on in the album, almost fittingly like the album cover, which is terrible. But it's
very confusing.
It's such a bummer, because Timberlake is a master of pop songs, and like Teangelo said, yes, he is a culture vulture, but like he gets away with it because he culture vultures so damn good.
100%.
So I can't recommend it. I mean, it's been 2 months. It's been out. You've probably heard it and probably are still listening to Filthy for some reason. I don't know why. Because of that Dead Sea Robot video.
Because you miss Prince.
If you miss Prince,
I feel like
listen to some fucking Prince.
Let's not even talk about that shit. Oh my god, the embarrassment. Oh, the embarrassment. Why did he do Prince like that, man?
Wait, what was this the Super Bowl show? I never saw the sport thing, so I don't. You have to tell me.
Yeah, it was the Super Bowl thing. He decided to put Prince Brown. I mean, I said Prince Brown. He decided to put Prince on what looked like a linen sheet and just promote it to the world to feel like he did a great job. And it was just like, nah, you could have left this one alone, bro. Like,
but I wonder if it was an homage to when Prince did the halftime show. And they did put a sheet over him to create a giant shadow, and it just looked like he was playing with his penis for a while.
It was Justin was not allowed to do the Prince hologram, so instead he did a Prince projection.
Oh,
that's what that was?
Yeah. And I think it was Prince playing the Super Bowl, but yeah, it was that.
Because Prince playing the Super Bowl, even though all those shows are pre-recorded, was still pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Because Prince was great.
You say Prince wasn't good?
You can never say Prince wasn't good. He pretty much just always nailed it. That's how Prince was.
Basically.
Except for his chemtrails beliefs, but that's still that's a different story. Teangelo.
And nobody. Yes.
Because Ryan still can't find his notes. Tell us about Disney's, Marvel's, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
That soundtrack of the year? Okay.
Soundtrack of the Saudi. Tell us about the Saudi that is Black Panther. The music from and inspired by.
I don't even know what you mean by this whole Saudi thing, but I'm just going to jump over it.
Saudi. Soundtrack of the year, Saudi.
Oh God!
You're the only person to ever say that in life.
I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it.
No, drop it now.
No, it's the
drop it.
It's
the
the
fuck
Saudi.
now.
It's the
drop
motherfucking
it.
Saudi.
Please, no,
that
no.
shit's cracking.
This is no. God have mercy. Oh, God have mercy. Okay, this shit. Please try. Oh my God, I can't even let that shit go. He said Saudi. Oh God. Okay.
You're gonna be telling your
Black
friends
Panther.
like, "Hey man, you listen to that Black Panther album," and you're gonna accidentally call it the Saudi, and everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And you're like, "Oh God damn it, I'm out.
Oh my God.
I'm out."
Oh my God. Let me pull up the freaking. Oh my God. He said, "You're so fucking frustrating right now. I'm just so confused. Like, I'm just trying to pull up the Black Panther soundtrack, and I found it. So this, first off, I want to give a huge shout out to Black Panther. #1 selling Marvel movie of all time. I feel like everybody supported this film. I don't know very many people who haven't seen this film. If you're black and you haven't seen this film, I am definitely taking your black card away easily. Swipe. You can't even say swipe or no swiping because I'm swiping that shit. You know what I'm saying? But salute to Dora. That made me laugh. Fuck you guys. Alex, I thought you would have cried laughing about that. Fuck you.
I missed it. I missed the joke. Oh.
Swipe or no swiping, Dora the Explorer.
Oh, I never had Dora the Explorer growing up. That was Nick Jr. We didn't have cable. I was also grown as an adult by then.
Yeah, I'm too old for Dora the Explorer.
If you had like a Thomas the Train tank engine reference, I'd be on board with that.
Fuck you guys, man. Totally fucking ruined my joke. Back on track. So this Black Panther album, first off, it was #1 on Billboard the #1 album of the week when it came out. It's just Kendrick Lamar executive produced it. It's so evident. He's on every single song, even if he's not in the title of the song as an artist on the song. It has weaved himself throughout the album. The album feels like they could have added like 4 more songs. It was just extremely well done. It just sounded beautiful. In the actual film itself, the only single that you hear that I can remember is All the Stars, and that was at the end in the credits, and it was placed so fucking well. It's just an absolutely beautiful album, single. The videos, all the videos. If you haven't seen King's Dead video, that shit is hard as fuck. If you haven't seen All the Stars video, man, if you don't think God is a woman and you watch that video, you will start to debate that God is a woman. It just looks so fucking beautiful. Just everything, all the songs, how Kendrick Lamar was able to fuse artists together that we probably wanted him to do music with, that he hasn't done to this capacity. Big Shot with Travis Scott, hard as hell. That shit was just a fucking amazing ass song. The song The Ways with Sway Lee and Khalid. I don't even like Khalid, but I fucking love that song. Okay, that song is fucking amazing. Georgia Smith with that song I Am. She's such an amazing singer. She was on Drake's last album. She's on Black Panther's album. Her singles herself are just excellently done. There's the only song that's a skippable personally is the song with where is it?
Redemption.
Which one was that?
Zakari and
Zakari.
Dave's.
No, I like that one. I like that one. The only one I didn't like was the song with not Vic Mensa, Vic Staples. It was too techno-y for me. It didn't fit.
Or Oops.
Yeah, it didn't. There, thank you. I couldn't find it. That song, it really, I don't know. It just didn't connect with me. Paramedic with SOB and RBE. I didn't know who those guys were, but I fucking love that song too. Bloody Waters was a song that I listened to, but you got to be in a vibe. You're not just putting on Bloody Waters. I love those guys, but Absol, you just really got to know what the fuck you're getting into when you're listening to Absol.
I was so happy that I was so happy that Absol popped up, because Absol is sort of one of those lesser known artists or hip hop artists, I think, that does a phenomenal job. I listened to one of his albums. It was a while ago. Hold on, I'm looking at it super quick.
His last album was Booty.
Control System from 2012, and I really liked that album. And so just to see him pop up in sort of a mainstream release for me was actually a really something that made me really happy.
I feel that. The only person from TDE who wasn't on here was Isaiah Rashad. He's the only one from TDE. Top Dog Entertainment. Ryan, did you just ask me what TDE was?
I'm glad he did, because I didn't know either.
I mean, some of our listeners might not know.
Yeah, that's who Kendrick Lamar and all those guys are signed to. That's how they all started together.
Oh, okay.
Top Dog Entertainment. That's Schoolboy Q, SZA, Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick Lamar, naturally, Absol. Shit, who the fuck else?
Well, yeah, where was Lance Ski Walker on this album?
Yeah, he's signed to them too, isn't he?
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. I'm just believing whatever it tells me.
Yeah, he is too. Yeah, and then I feel like they just signed Sir. Is Sir signed to them too?
That's what it says. And Black Hippie.
Yeah, Sir signed it. Yeah. Black Hippie is Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Absol, and J Rock.
Ah, okay.
That's Black Hippie. I love when I teach you guys things that I assume you guys know. I always get surprised when that shit happens. I definitely thought, yeah, but Top Dog is who they're all fucking signed to. This is easily going to be one of the listening value on this is so high. The replay value on this is so fucking high. Just extremely well done. I'm definitely curious to see what you guys are going to say.
Right, yeah. So let me preface what I'm going to say with I did really like this album. So all the terrible things I'm about to say now, bear in mind, I did like this release.
God. Oh God.
Teangelo, before I start, I have a legit question for you.
Yeah.
Are you on 10 yet? Are you on 10 yet?
Always.
I've been on 10. Are you on Ryan?
Always.
Ryan, are you on 10 yet?
Yeah.
The first time I heard that, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Kendrick is an interesting figure. I'm not in the hate. I don't know what Ryan feels about Kendrick, but I know Ryan is not as big of a Kendrick fan as other people in the universe. I think the term dick riding came up a lot last time we talked about Kendrick Lamar on Music Talk. But Kendrick on this album really felt like to me like he was trolling his audience to the extent of like it kind of almost felt like I felt like there were many moments he was seeing what he could get away with in terms of a mainstream hip hop release. I think it was Big Shot had some like recorders or fluty stuff. I know recorders apparently are big now in the hip hop world, or maybe that was last year. I don't know, but there was some really kind of off-kilter production work. There was some features and just some of his verbal flow just didn't seem as not focused, but like as concise as it used to be. He's gotten a lot more free flow and a little bit more. He's not as always on the rhythm as he used to be. And so like there's these moments where and it's mostly Kendrick's verses where I feel like he is just trying to see what he can get away with, and people are still gonna go, Kendrick's a fucking genius. I don't know if Kendrick's.
He's an artist, man.
And so that's where I'm like, is Kendrick just like that? Is he like the Radiohead of hip hop, where he's always just ahead of the curve, or is he just like, how do I fuck with everybody and still get millions of record sales? I don't know. And the perfect example of that for me, this isn't Kendrick's feature. This was the J-Rock and Future part of King's Dead, where I think you guys know where I'm going. The la-di-da-di-da part.
Oh, I fucking love that part.
I knew you would.
I fucking love that part.
I knew you would. Like, I just knew I was going to say it, and Teangelo was going to say it's the best part.
Everybody fucking loves that part.
I'm like,
that shit.
Fuck you.
Future's the fucking greatest, man. This motherfucker comes up with all this crazy. Future makes so many fucking flows, man.
It's the voice.
I'm telling you,
it's like
every time I listen to that song with other people in the car, everybody knows that part. Yeah. Everybody fucking knows that part.
Because it got memed like crazy. I mean, number one, it sounds like he's trying to do fucking Patrick from SpongeBob on the song. Right. And yeah, I've seen it memed a bunch of times where it just gets shoved into everything from random SpongeBob clips to the infamous steamed hams. It is everywhere now.
Steamed hams.
Steamed hams meme is dead, folks. Stop the steamed hams meme. But be that as it may.
Steamed ham. I gotta look what steamed ham means.
You know what steamed hams are?
Disney paid for that.
What?
Disney paid Future to do that shit.
Yes, that's true. Disney's like, here's money, Future. Okay. And someone was like, someone sitting in a swimming pool made entirely out of money. He's like, people are gonna fucking buy this. I'm on board. Whatever you want, Future.
Yes.
I had to disagree with you. Opes was one of my favorite songs. It is super heavy and tribal, and so that was also the thing that was my only real bummer. Opes and Redemption were two of my more favorite songs on the album, and they had this like good drumming, good percussive work. And this album is surrounding Black Panther. The entire Black Panther film has great like percussion soundtrack in it, lots of drumming, polyrhythmic stuff. And I'm like, I just wanted some more of that. Not that it had to like perfectly follow the film or anything, but like if you were making a rap album inspired by this film, I feel like you should play a little bit more respect to like some of the themes of the film, I guess. I don't know. I have a better way of putting it, but that was my like one critique. The one thing I cracked up in as I was reviewing this stuff for this is two songs. The Ways sounds like what Justin Timberlake was trying to do, but it didn't suck at it. And then also the song I Am had a lot of shoegaze and trip hop influences, which I found really fascinating. So it almost felt like a shoegaze rap song. Obviously, it reminded me, had like some bits and pieces that almost remind me of Massive Attack or Portishead, some dronier beats that I really like that song. Overall, though, I did really like the album. It just like for some reason it just never like fully clicked for me. I'm not sure why. Ryan, Black Panther.
Man, oh man. This album almost, you know what? I'm on the dick riding train for Kendrick Lamar. I think it's every other album of his that I like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this whole album is fantastic. Microsoft literally deleted my notes because I stopped paying for OneDrive. So I just go off memory of an album I listened to, a month ago. But let's see, what else was there? I remember my favorite song was really up there was Big Shot.
Big Shot. Mm-hmm. It's a dope ass song.
Yeah. Like that's the kind of song you just turn on in your car and turn it all the way up and people can't get mad at you because it's a Disney song.
It is technically a Disney song.
These are all Disney songs.
Yes.
It's gonna live on forever. Like the Whole New World and Just Can't Wait to Be King, and then Big Shot.
You're gonna go to Disney World and you're gonna be hanging out the Magic Kingdom, and the guy in the Woody costume is gonna come up to you and you're gonna be like, "I fucking love Toy Story," and he's gonna go, "La-di-da-di-da."
Yeah. It's the future, man.
This is strange.
Yeah,
world.
King's Dead was great.
Oh, gotta love it. Oh shit!
I don't think I've ever actually like gone out of my way to listen to a Future song,
Mm-hmm.
but I assume they all sound like King's Dead.
God no. That was an original. He gave him an original vibe on that song. That verse was a fucking vibe. Fucking vibe.
I didn't realize. Cause I'm looking at this album online. Bad Bad Not Good produced The Ways, which probably explains why it was probably my favorite track on the album. Because Bad Bad Not Good are fucking amazing.
What song?
The song The Ways. The Bad Bad Not Good was one of the producers.
Who are they?
Bad Bad Not Good are actually a jazz quartet that makes sick as fuck hip hop music.
Yeah, they've done three albums with like Ghostface Killah. They did an album with Snoop, a bunch of shit with I can't think of his name. They make good music, but it's got a 70s feel, like a blaxploitation kind of sound to it, like Curtis Mayfield kind of.
Okay.
But then they're just rappers,
When you say blaxploitation, what do you mean?
like the blaxploitation films, like Superfly,
Like the
Shaft.
Luke Cage soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly like Luke Cage.
I just saw because they're remaking Superfly.
Wait, they're
so
what?
I saw someone. Yeah, they're remaking
goddamn.
Superfly. It's coming out this year.
With who Zaytoven is Superfly.
Interesting.
No, not Zaytoven. It's the Disney guy. Well, he's on
the Disney guy,
Grownish.
Future. Future's my favorite Disney princess.
So just to clarify for me, black exploitation means what? Like, what does that mean?
Blaxploitation is a genre of films that started back in the 70s, where they're just really cheap films starring and made by black filmmakers that usually revolve around inner city life, and you either have drug dealers that are trying to get out of the game, like the Superfly, or you've got detectives and cops that are trying to root out things that are poisoning the community, like Shaft. And then you've got the other end of blaxploitation, where it's pretty much porn and shitty horror movies like
Blackenstein,
Blackenstein,
Blackula, the blunt
Yep.
black of Blocher Blame.
Foxy Brown, what's her
Interesting.
name, Pam Grier. Yeah, there are a lot of really well-known movies that aren't very good that are in the genre of blaxploitation. Like, have you ever seen? I'm
Would
going to get you.
Would Pootie Tang be black exploitation?
Blaxploitation.
It's not black exploitation. It's blaxploitation. Black exploitation is, chattel slavery, mass incarceration. Blaxploitation is black dynamite.
Got you. Okay. I just learned something for sure. That's dope. Yeah, but the remake, not Zaytoven isn't doing it. It's Future and Joel Silver. Future is the one producing the soundtrack.
Cedric Entertained, isn't that too, right?
No. Trevor.
It's Big Boy.
Yeah, Trevor Jackson is Superfly. Jason Michael from Straight Outta Compton.
Michael Kenneth Williams, Lex Scott Davis, and Jennifer Morrison are also in the film.
The trailer looked decent. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this might be good.
Yeah,
this might be good.
Yeah, the first Superfly was fine. So
my only concern is they are not gonna be able to top that Curtis Mayfield soundtrack, because that soundtrack is fucking bomb.
For Superfly.
You got to listen. You got to listen to that album if you never listened to that soundtrack. Well, Curtis Mayfield in general is just a goddamn wizard of music. But
I feel you.
This album was great. There wasn't a bad song on the album. I think everyone should listen to it and buy it. They need more money. Disney needs more money. Kendrick needs more money. The new Disney Princess Future needs money.
I am starting that meme, folks. Future is a Disney princess.
I found the Spotify playlist of that album. I'm gonna save it.
You gotta. It is just also a lot of that music is the backbone of hip hop. It's like the foundation of it. So you listen to that and it's like going. It's like a lot of the early inspirations and a lot of songs like that, or a lot of James Brown stuff, are what made the initial like beats for like the entirety of 80s hip hop was like James Brown licks over and over and over again. But it's clutch music. Clutch like Future.
Don't say clutch. Stop saying clutch.
He's trolling. He's trolling us right now, Ryan.
I like Clutch. Clutch is just so good. How can you hate Clutch?
You're an excellent troll.
I am. I feel like Kendrick is a troll too. I feel like Kendrick is a huge creative genius, but at the same time, I kind of have to wonder, does he just sometimes go, what can I get away with here? And what are people going to be like, yes, I'm on board with this?
I definitely feel like he's one of those guys who constantly needs to be creating something original.
Yes.
So I think in that idea of creating originality, you get that energy where he's trolling, but that's only because for himself, I don't think he can survive unless all his shit is original. Even going all the way back to his first projects, they were original sounds. Like Michael Jordan is one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs, and it was on one of his I guess you could say one of his first mainstream projects. And that Michael Jordan sound, it still sounds like rap they make right now.
Right.
And that song, it's I was probably 15, 16, 17. The song's at least 9 years old. At least 9 years old. And it still sounds like music coming out right now. I think that's just his vibe. He really is trying to create new shit. He even got Future to do something that he's never done before. As funny as it is.
No, it's true. It's true.
You know what I mean? He got him to do something that he's never done before. And it's so memorable. So even if that's the only thing you remember about that song, he was able to make Future create a memorable moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just a Kendrick Lamar vibe.
I would very much be on board with a similar album of Kendrick producing a lot of a sort of almost like a mixtape of people just kind of jumping in and doing this kind of structure, even not focused around a specific film. Mm-hmm. They don't need to do an Avengers Infinity War mixtape. It could be any Disney film, but or Star Wars. Fuck it, Star Wars Episode 9 featuring Kendrick Lamar's mixtape. But this kind of thing, I think, is actually kind of cool. And I obviously I know other artists have done something like it, but with
Kendrick, do it like the Chronic.
Kind of, yeah, but like with Kendrick's production style, I think it does lend to some really interesting stuff because it is definitely left of mainstream, and I think that's always a good thing. And then it puts some of these artists are already a little bit more on the experimental end, like Absol, Anderson .Paak. I would say is not exactly super mainstream sounding. The only Schoolboy Q album I listened to was Scary and Violent, so to listen to hear something that's a little more safe and not terrifying was good. So I like that idea.
Yeah, even following that same thought, the song that he did with Vic, I keep fucking forget his name. What's his last name?
Vince Staples?
Yeah, Vince. Yeah, thank you, Vince Staples. He's very experimental when you think about his instrumentals and his beats.
Right.
Like his last project, like no one sounds like him. At least no one's production sounds like his. And that's why that beat made sense for him. I wouldn't put anybody else on that beat.
No. And so I think that's why it comes together really well. Is I don't know if Kendrick specifically picked people for those parts or
had to have.
I don't know.
It's too original. It's too original.
My closing thought on this album is, as much as I like them, despite the recent controversy, I'm surprised and glad Run the Jewels was not on this album because they are such a safe pick for everything right now. They could have easily been shoehorned in here. It would have sounded terrible because it wouldn't have fit here, and I'm glad they didn't.
Are you talking about the NRA stuff that Killer Mike did?
Yeah, that was like
Gotcha.
I don't care if Killer Mike has conservative views, that's his own prerogative, but like to put yourself on that piece of propaganda bullshit programming, like knowing they're gonna twist and distort everything you say for their own like wacky shit is just, and for them to like, and it just gives NRA TV the opportunity to go, we have our token black guy now, we have our token black guy, Killer Mike soundbite thing.
He rescinded his comments.
It's too late. It's too late, though. It's too late. Like, they got those sound bites. They got those video clips. Those are trapped on Twitter, racist alt-right Twitter forever. It's like, that's like the thing.
I haven't watched what he actually said. I just know he said some things.
Well, he did say they had guns in Wakanda, which just wasn't true.
They definitely did not have guns in Wakanda.
Except Wakanda, Illinois has lots of guns, though.
You could argue that it would have came soon, because remember the sister, when she shot those energy bullets out of that fist, you could argue that those were some type of bullet, but they would never come up with your generic metal shoot it from a weapon bullet.
But at that point, that's splitting hairs, and I mean, I'm just being
right.
But like, it just true. Like, I think he made a grave mistake. Like, even if he has those beliefs, and again, that's not so much of an issue. It's like he should have known better that like that is a dangerous thing to play with. Those guys are not gonna give you a fair shake. They're gonna take whatever they film you with, fucking tear it up and distort it, so all of a sudden you sound like you listen to fucking InfoWars. Like that to me just seems like really poor planning on his behalf. And he can redeem himself. I'm not saying he can't redeem himself, but I just think that was really poor judgment on his behalf.
I feel you.
No one. I think no one's above or beneath, whichever you want to play, forgiveness. But like, then you have to engage in action to prove that.
Right. And I think Killer Mike, if you just look at his records and his history, he's definitely one of those guys you would forgive. He's definitely one of those guys you would forgive just because of the time that he's put in, the things that he's said in support of the black culture and the black community. But I feel you, though.
He's very pro-community, which I think is great. I mean, with his barbershop and other things in Atlanta, he's very focused on it. You got to be careful because people are going to manipulate what you do, and it's bad business. It's bad business. Speaking of manipulation, Ryan, Ruins First Aid Kit. Brilliant transition.
Man. So this is different from most, if not all, the albums we've ever recorded, because it's a duo.
What?
No, so.
You definitely lost your train of thought on that one.
We don't do folky albums.
The first album we did. Well, yeah, I was gonna say this was the first album we did with just females in it, and then I remembered like.
What about Alicia Keys' "Girl on Fire"?
Yeah, we did that. We did Bjork. We did a couple. So sorry.
Right, we just did Bjork. Yeah,
we had a whole album dedicated to Beyonce.
That's true. Anyway, so this is up there with the multitudes of albums we've done by musicians. This is the album we listened to is Ruins by the duo First Aid Kit. They're a Swedish folk band that have recently become incredibly popular somehow. Because this is their fourth studio album, the first album they've done in 4 goddamn years. But you know, it's laid back. They sing together. Some of the good songs on this album, obviously, are the title track, which is Rebel Heart, which takes up about half the time of the entire album.
Wait, what?
Because
What? I'm
it's
confused.
a 40-minute long album, and it's a 5.5-minute long song.
But that's still not the title track, because the album
Right,
is called Ruins.
The Ruins.
That's not what I meant, guys. I meant the first track on the album.
The album
the
opener?
starting track. Sorry, I fucked
You
it up.
definitely need your notes, man.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Your notes, like, I didn't even know you were so note heavy until this podcast.
He got
Microsoft deleted all my notes, so that's
This
cool.
is what would have happened if
Um,
Barack Obama didn't have his teleprompter. If Obama didn't have his teleprompter, we would be able to do a speech. I'm sorry, go on.
Anyway, Rebel Heart is the lead track from the song. It's also, I believe, the one and only singles from this album. But their music's great. They like to sing together. The best parts of the entire album is when they stop trying to sing over each other and they sing together. Like one will take the low and one will take the high end. Those parts of the album really shine and get plenty of it. And it's just a great album to just turn on and go farming, work at coffee shop,
Drive in the countryside.
drive the countryside, just hang out in the inner city with the guys playing 2K18.
You are never allowed to lose your notes again.
Anyway, this album was great. I listened to it pretty much every day. There was no real down parts of the album, so I think it's a great album. Who's next?
Thank God.
Go ahead,
Holy
Teangelo.
shit. Man, I'm so blown at how you just blew your own album introduction.
I think he nailed it. He stuck that landing.
Oh my God.
You know, the start was a little,
You're all over the fucking place, man. He said, this is an album you put on in the hood when you're playing 2K. What the fuck?
You can play 2K
No, it's
anywhere.
not. You cannot play 2K and listen to this album. And
I dare you to try it and tell me it doesn't work.
Fuck no.
Tweet us your pictures of you listening to this album and playing 2K.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! It has to be a video because we won't be able to hear the fucking music.
I'm just gonna take your word for it. I'll believe you if you do it. I'm a trusting man.
Oh my God! So back on track. I absolutely enjoyed the shit out of this album. Ryan, I have been shitting on you for the past 2-3 podcasts, but you fucking picked a gem in this one, man. I don't even listen to this type of fucking music. I listened to this album like 2-3 times, man. I just really enjoyed it. From top to bottom. It was just very well done. I even looked these motherfuckers up, man. I was like, who are these people? And then I was like, oh, this is why I never heard of them. I was like, oh, these ladies are from, what was it? What are they? Not Irish.
Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
Sweden.
I don't know. Sweden. I don't know nothing about no Sweden artists, but I enjoyed these people. I said, if Swedish music sounds like this, somebody put me onto some Swedish musicians. I want to hear some Swedish rap, some Swedish rock, all that shit. If it sounds like this, oh, that shit is fucking excellent, man. And they really do have a strong, on Spotify, they got over 674,000 followers. Mm-hmm. So they definitely, I would say, are growing. I really enjoyed the music. I could just tell that some of the songs felt really like heartfelt, and some of them were just like, all right, let's just make a record. But I definitely enjoyed it. recommend what were my favorites off of this project. Let me go back to the album. Ruins was definitely a great one. Fireworks and Distant Star. I think those three were my favorites. I definitely am gonna go look up their old music and see. Hopefully, it sounds similar to this, but just a great album.
Almost identical.
I definitely recommend these two ladies. Great music.
Well, Teangelo, you probably know Swedish music and you don't even know it, such as the legendary Swedish House Mafia, ABBA, Ace of Base. I'm sure you know Meshuggah.
The metal band?
Yeah, I'm just The Hive.
I do know The Hive.
There are so many. If you just type in list of Swedes and music into Wikipedia, you'll be provided with a list. Europe, I think Golden Earring. No, Golden Earring is Dutch. But Europe with their song "The Final Countdown." If you haven't heard that, you're not a real American.
The Final Countdown.
Oh my God! Oh no!
So
that song, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're talking
about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you are already knee deep in Swede. Not as good as being his wrist deep in Swede, am I right, folks? Anyway, First Aid Kit, Ruins.
Oh God! Wow.
That wasn't even in my notes. So the one thing that threw me off, and I don't know if it's like a Swedish thing or what, but there were moments in the song where these two attempt to harmonize and it doesn't work. Like you hear this and when you hear, so like in the song Rebel Heart, they have this long drawn out note together. They're singing together, and you notice this very rapid shifting in the tone, which means that they're not on the same tone and they're not harmonizing correctly. So it has this very rapid rapidness to it, which kind of threw me off for a loop and led me to give this album a 0 out of 10. I'm just kidding. Aside from that, this is a really good album.
And then he says, "Just kidding."
I had like, it was such a weird nitpicky thing that like stuck out to me as kind of a music nerd that I'm like, either this is something I don't know about, or they just like fucked up and they didn't care, or
I noticed the same thing.
So,
but it sounds like they're trying to like do it better than the other person,
right? Like it sounds like they're trying to harmonize like every oh my God, I keep thinking Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but that's Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. That's the word. I mix those two up all the time. They sound exactly the same.
That's a great mistake.
Right. This reminded me a lot of, Ryan, when you first gave me this album, you said it was like indie folk, but it reminded me more of acts like Cat Power and Warpaint, a little bit more on the indie rock, not so much as like folkiness. But I think they're in a similar vein, and it's still really good mellow music. Yeah, I think it's a great album to put on when you're playing Madden 2K or NBA 2K. Both. I don't know why this isn't in the game as the soundtrack. It just confuses me. The thing that I noticed that stuck out to me, though, is a lot of these songs, and this isn't to dig, but they're actually really simple songs. They have maybe 2-3 chords overall, maybe a little bit light percussion, but their vocal work overall really carries the songs to glory, to success. And the music itself is really pared down. It's just creating a very simple little texture, a little basic template for their vocal work, their vocal interplay to play off of, which I think that would make it, for me, like really exciting to see these two, plus their little backing band in like a small little club venue. I think it'd have a really great intimate feel. You'd get a really good connection with the singers. I cracked up because I thought these were like some people from Tennessee, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh fuck, they're Swedish. That's weird.
Yeah, they're stealing our music.
Speaking of culture vultures, am I right? But I love that idea, and a thing I firmly believe: when you have a simple song, or the simpler your song, the stronger your songwriting has to be. So when you have a really basic song, and I think of solo acoustic artists like Nick Drake, for me, is always a perfect example, where it's very bare bones, but because the songwriting is so good, it compensates for how bare bones it is. And this sort of plays in the same vein, where these songs are actually very simple, they're very sparse, they're very pared down, but they're so well composed and they're so well performed that it makes up for the simplicity. It balances it out. Versus if there's 5,000 people like Polyphonic Spree, you can get away with schlock nonsense because it's just so much erraticism going on. I also cracked up with that because Ruins is the name of a band that produces nonsense freakout music. And so I was like, oh, because at first I thought the band name was Ruins. I'm like, wait a minute, this is crazy. They don't make anything like this. And then I realized it wasn't. Loved the ending track, Nothing Has to Be True. Loved Rebel Heart. Ruins, the self-titled song, was great. And then My Wild Sweet Love was another standout for me. The only one I was, and again, lukewarm, not even dislike, but lukewarm was Hem of Her Dress was the only one I was just mixed on. But overall, it's a wonderful album. At only 40 minutes, it's a quick, easy listen. Again, you got a rainy day out. You're popping in your favorite Call of Duty game. This is the perfect album.
I co-sign, but the fucking shit that Kahina is cooking is making the fucking alarm go off. Back on mute. So,
quick aside, because you guys did enjoy their music. Right now, if you turn on the radios or whatever, a guy named Van William made a song called Revolution with First Aid Kit on it. And it's a really good song, and I think you guys should listen to it. So it's more of a band, like a full band sound.
So yeah, 2 out of 3, two out of 3 great albums on this episode, and then one unfortunate disaster.
I mean, it's not that bad, guys.
I think it's to me it's that bad because it took 5 years to produce it. That's what rubs me.
It's forgettable.
Yeah, like Man of the Woods, the single probably will be played in grocery stores.
Fuck.
You will hear Shake It Off. And then you're gonna hear Man of the Woods while you're picking up your apples at the Pick and Save.
Why are you picking up your apples at the Pick and Save?
I don't know. I mean, you could buy apples there. Tell me you can't. I don't know.
Where's the lie?
Right. Where's the lie? That was a great response. Where's the lie?
Join us next time. We'll review other albums, I'm sure.
And hopefully we record a lot sooner than 2 months from now.
Yes.